I recently upset someone who used to be a part of my life, and they recently confronted me through social media and kind of eviscerated me, being like, "Well, why did you delete me from social media? Why did you do this? Like, you're a terrible person." And I sat with it for a while. I sat with it for a few days because I was like, do I want to respond and give this person any gratification? And then I was like, no, I am going to respond because I always think that a learning experience is important when that door is opened. And I decided to just be upfront with them and honest. And the truth is, this is not the only person I've seen this happen with, but I was scrolling social media and news articles pop up all the time. And there was a news article about some piece of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation that Congress passed or whatever. It may have been on the state level somewhere. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I saw this person actively engaging with and commenting on these posts, essentially cheering on this anti-LGBTQ plus legislation at the expense of the LGBTQ plus community. And when I saw this at first, I was kind of in shock because they were a person that I least expected to not be supportive. And I decided to tell them. I was upfront with that. I was just like, I saw you doing this. I saw you engaging with this type of content. I saw you encouraging and cheering on things that are actively impacting and damaging my community. And I just made the decision like, hey, I don't want that to be in my life. I don't want to give space for it. I don't want to glorify it. I don't want to look past it. And like I thought about confronting them in the posts, and maybe I should have, but I like sometimes when your bandwidth is low, sometimes just deleting and blocking is the easiest thing to do. Well, I didn't block them, I just deleted them. But so like obviously they were kind of being like, well, can't I have my opinion on things? And I was just like, you can have an opinion on like on whether pineapple goes on pizza. Absolutely. But when it comes to literal human rights and people's access to things, like that's a completely different ballpark, let's just say. And then, well, because then there was a certain point in the conversation, because this always happens, they try to guilt you and to gaslight you and to make you feel bad for addressing something that's actively damaging to you. And I was like, no, 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 we're not doing this. We're not doing this. We are going to reorient here. And I'm like, no, no. And at that point, I stopped. I was like, no, we're not continuing this conversation. You said your piece, I said my piece. But the point that I want to make with this video, and this is largely to the people who have queer people in their lives, who aren't really vocal in their affirmation of them, but who still continue to engage with this type of content and choose to you know, click like on like anti-LGBTQ plus legislation news articles or to comment cheering it on. Like, why are you surprised that queer people don't want you to be part of our lives? Like, what, like, that is my question for those people. Why are you surprised by that? And don't you think we are observing? I'm going to be completely honest. Like, because we've had to consider our safety so much, especially in the last 8 years, those of us in the LGBTQ plus community were always being observant. We're always staying aware of our surroundings. We're staying aware of the people around us because we've been burned before, and we have to be mindful about who we surround ourselves with, because at the end of the day, it could mean our mental or physical safety, right? And I'm in my mid to late 30s. I don't have time to surround myself with people who aren't going to be 100% supportive. I don't, because I have my family. I have spent years, you know, overcoming my own traumas in therapy. Like, I'm not going to let one person detract me from that trajectory, right? It's onward and upward. And if you are one of those people who does engage with that type of thing, and you do care about the LGBT plus people in your life, and they do address it with you, know that they are coming from a place of love. And I think for those in the community who have to deal with this type of thing, it's completely okay for you to establish your boundaries and to step away from people if they are going to be a type of person who supports that type of thing at your expense. I guess for me, like, I would rather just have people to my face tell me that they're not supportive than them, like, underhandedly go and just post about and say horrible things, but then to my face be like, oh, I'm supportive. Like, if you're not, you're not. If you are, you are. Okay. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. I think in 2025, those of us in the community, we need to be mindful of our of the groups that we're in and the people that we surround ourselves with, because we deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift us and accept us. And I think any energy invested in those who choose, like this person, to be very double edged or whatever, like, I don't think it's time worth spending necessarily. I would rather hope that we would spend that time on enriching ourselves and in creating our own spaces of acceptance. So, anyway, those are just my thoughts on this. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for listening as always. Subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.